If I don't know what I'm doing, it's probably best to either not do it or to ask for help. Um, because when I try to do things that I don't know what I'm doing, sometimes it can have embarrassing results. When I was a young boy, one of the things that we liked to do in the wintertime was after church. If our parents were talking, then we would go out and we would start the car and get it warmed up so that when um, the family came out from church and was ready to go home, the car was warm. And of course, it was big stuff. If you're 9 years old and you get to start the car, that's pretty good. That feels pretty big at that time. So one time we were at Ephrata Mennonite Church, which was close to where we lived, but not the church that we attended. And we were there for an evening service. And after the service, of course, I didn't know people there, so I didn't have friends to play with after church. So I asked my dad if I could go out and start the car, and he said I could. And um, of course, our cars at that time didn't have automatic transmissions. They had well, they were standard transmissions, and the shift was on it was a gear shift on the steering column, so you would have like one, two, three, and reverse somewhere. I don't know where reverse was, but um, anyway, you had to push the clutch in and get the car out of gear before you pulled the emergency brake before you started it. Well, I didn't really know all that, and I went out and I just started the car and it was in gear. And so it ran forward and banged into the car in front of us. And so, well, now I was in big trouble because I had hit a car. So I had to go in and tell my dad, and he came out. And I don't think there was any damage to the car. In that time, cars had big metal bumpers, and I think the bumpers matched up. And I don't know that there was any damage to the car, but it was embarrassing, and probably would have been better if I would have just asked somebody to make sure I knew what I was doing, or maybe not do that. But anyway, it was a lesson to me that when you want to do something you don't know what you're doing, it's probably best to ask for help or to not do it.